validating innovative ideas, product development, proposition, and business model for creating successful startup. He has also worked as an assistant professor in PG Research Center for Industrial Design, Open Design School at Gujarat Technological University, Ahmedabad from October 2014 to Feb 2020. At GTU, he has created the Design Spine Workshop Module and Evaluation System from third semester to sixth semester across engineering at bachelor level for design engineering subject at Gujarat Technological University. This subject is based on design thinking methodology, and every year approximate 100 students 10,000 students are enrolling for this course in GTU. He has been training faculty member for design thinking for basic level to the advanced level, and till date he trained more than 4,000 faculties for engineering branch through 53 faculty development program of 4 days each. Apart from FDP, he has also organized and mentored various workshops like Design Weekend for students, Design Clinic for industry, Summer and Winter School, rigorous 3 to 4 week residential program to embed the design thinking methodology, hackathons, Design Demo Day, Design and Innovation Bootcamp, Design Sprint events, Design Thinking Seminar for students, startup, faculty, member industry people, and government officials. He was instrumental in setting up Design Innovation Center, hub and spoke model at GTU, which is granted by MHRD to build an innovative and design lead ecosystem. He was also pivotal in crafting a student startup policy SSIP of Gujarat state. He is having 6.5 years of experience in academic, focusing on curriculum development of human-centered design through continuous interaction with the industry, and 1 year of industry experience as a mechanical design engineer. So on behalf of Student Startup Innovation Policy Cell and DIC Cell of Dr. S.N.S.S. Gandhi, Government Engineering College, Surat, we are welcoming the most eminent personality and the most eminent speaker, Mr. Karamjit Singh Bihola. So I would like to request Mr. Karamjit Singh Biola to start his session.
Thank you very much, Darshan sir, for not a brief, but it's a quite detailed introduction about me. And I don't know, you have researched a lot, maybe from my LinkedIn profile and other profile. Thank you very much for putting the stage on a right mode. And so welcome all friends, students and faculty members out there who has joined today's webinar on design thinking for development of 21st century skill sets. This webinar today is organized by Dr. S.N.S.S. Gandhi, Government Engineering College, Surat, as Darshan sir has mentioned, for creating a measurable and realistic career. And why I written measurable and realistic, it is because, well, when we are using design thinking, you can always map your learning as well as your skill sets development over the period. And uh, after certain time while practicing design thinking, you can see some of the skill sets being developed in you. You are becoming a more skilled related to what industry is required today. So we will see some of the skill sets which can be developed by design thinking today in this session. This session is, as sir said, supported by SSIP and Design Innovation Center, where I was working 2 months before, and we were about to develop the entire Design Innovation Center, which is the grant or project by MHRD to support the startups and innovators in the community. Right now, I am working as a senior manager in for innovation and startup at Explora Group and Innovation and Research Foundation. So, first of all, let me thank you on behalf of Explora and IRF, Darshan sir, to give me this opportunity. So, friends, let's start today's part with the with answering these three questions, and uh, I would like you to follow these three questions during entire webinar and the presentation, because it also organized in this manner. So let us first focus on why we are here. Uh, may I request all of you to kindly mute your mic so
Sir,
we
done.
are not disturbing others, and if you can mute your mic, we will have the question answer round at the end of the webinar.
So before
So why
one
we
minute.
all are here to understand, to learn about design thinking, why it is important, what is design thinking, and how it can be helpful us for innovative solution as well as developing a 21st century skill set. So when we ask ourselves these questions, and when we try to find out the uh, answers for these questions using design thinking approach, uh, we always would get the experience innovation. So friends, today all the corporates or multinational companies are trying to develop the experience innovation for their users or for their customer. It is not only about designing or developing a product and service, but how your customer or your user would experience that service or product after using it. It is more important nowadays. So it is most important to develop and give that experience which is required by the by our customer to be successful in the business or to be successful in any project also. So when we apply design thinking and get those answer to these questions, we would always get the experience innovation which is required by today's world. So let us first answer the why part. Why we require or why need to learn about design thinking or to understand about design thinking approach. So there are three aspects here. Because world needs it, industry needs it, and you or we as an individual needs it. So let us see first why world needs design thinking to be applied to solve those challenges. So today in the world where we are living, we face lots of local and global issues, community issues, and these all are on the screen. You can see all the issues which are we are facing in the India nowadays, and all those issues locally or globally. Uh, So all these issues locally or globally are somehow created by the human intervention, or people have. Uh, I would request
One minute.
to kindly mute your mic. So I think it is creating a echo.
I would
Hello.
like to, sir, one minute. Please mute your mic and switch off your video. If you have any kind of doubt or if you have any kind of question, please write in the chat box. But it, but it is humble request once again to all of you. Please mute your mic because it will create so much disturbance in this webinar. And I think now everyone had muted their mic. So please continue.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Thank you. So as we are seeing on the screen, these all are problems are created by the humans, by the people, and to solve these human issues, right? We need to understand the behaviors, the culture, the mindset, and habits of the people, habits of the human, and to that means we need to empathize with the people. We need to understand what their pain and problems are they are facing in their context, and in this aspect design thinking helps us a lot, because design thinking is a human centered problem solving approach. So that is why we require design thinking nowadays in the world to solve the global issues. So with the yesterday's solution we cannot hope to solve the today's problem, as in for like this COVID-19 outbreak, this coronavirus issue. We are helpless to solve it with the yesterday's solution. So the world is now trying to get it done or get it solved by newer ways and newer methods and newer practices. So world is changing very fast. It is changing very fast. The change is not a linear process or not a linear, but it is exponential. So the next part is industry needs it. So why industry need this uh, design thinking to be applied? As I mentioned, these all of the problems that we are facing locally or globally, some most of them are also related to the industry. So we need to understand the industry perspective, or we need to understand these problems, how industry needs to be solved those problems for us, right? And also on the other side, industry requires the skilled manpower who can think very differently and innovatively, and who able to understand and solve those world challenges. And for that we require the skill sets which is required by the industry and the 21st century skill sets. uh, and in this lockdown condition, lockdown situation, uh, every industrial sector, every industry are facing lots of challenges to survive. And in this condition, design thinking can help us a lot. So if we apply design thinking in a proper manner to solve industry challenges, to solve community societal problems, it would help us a lot, and it would develop the sustainable solution. So if we see, and if we see in the news also, that after this COVID outbreak situation will get over, world will be looking forward to India as a manufacturing hub. So we need to grab this opportunity, and we just not need to develop or manufacture products for the people or for the world out there, but we also need to design, manufacture, brand, and package the solutions for the world. So we need to look our honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi Sahab's dream of Make in India, and we need to reiterate that dream, like from Make in India to design, make, uh, brand, and package in India, and then we can become global guru or global leader in terms of economy. So we need to grab this opportunity by applying design thinking, by applying lean methodology and other which is there for solving global problems. So the companies or the industries which are using design or design methodology are at the top and in the innovation ladder. So you can see at the step 4, those are the companies which consider design as a key strategic element in their processes, in their organization. And these are the some of design centric organization which have outperformed by 228% over this 10 years using design centric processes. So these are the top 15 list out of top 50. सो 15 है 50 में से जो यूएस में लिस्टेड होते हैं. And these are the design centric organization which are innovatively coming out with the solutions. So you can see the global firms, global MNCs who are using design thinking already, and those are the pioneer in design thinking. These are Indian firms like Infosys, Tata, Philips, PepsiCo, L&T, Mahindra, and so on. There are lots of Indian firms also nowadays which are integrating design thinking. There are lots of higher education institutes. As Darshan sir mentioned, GTU is one of the pioneer and first affiliating type of university in the India who have applied design thinking for a structured curriculum based program in engineering from third semester onward. Uh, so now if we see as an individual why we require design thinking, as I said, industry requires the skilled manpower, and to survive in such a competitive world we need to require to understand the needs of the people, needs of the industry, and to solve it through innovative and creative way. So we require holistic, creative, and divergent thinking approach, and we need to come out from traditional thinking to now design thinking or creative thinking. So as you can see on the screen, there are 136 million jobs at a risk after this post corona effect. And it is reported by Live Mint magazine recently. And so I'm not discouraging you that we will not be having the job. There will be plenty of job available, but those job are available for the people, for the graduates who can develop or who has the skills and talent which are required by the industry, which are required by the 21st century industry, which is now we are in the industry 4.0 era. So in a digital transformation world, all these skills and processes are changed, right? So we move from, if we talk about design process or design education, so we move from only developing a product by aesthetic or by a good appearance. We now moving for designing a business model and strategic design, or designing a solution for the people who are having the problems in their context. So friends, you are in the race, and to come out or to stand out from this race, we need to be different. And there is only one way to be different, is to learn the skill sets which is required by the industry. Am I audible? Someone has messaged my voice is not there.
No, sir, it is audible.
Okay, okay. Thank you. So these are the 21st century skill sets which is given by the World Economic Forum in 2014-15, I think, and they have listed these 16 skill sets which are required by any individual to be successful in the 21st century. So we moved from 20th century of a knowledge creation, knowledge economy, to now design creation or design economy in the 21st century. And if you can see, there are three categories in which these skill sets are categorized or divided. So first part, foundational literacy, literacy is those skill sets we are learning or we are developing through the school curriculum or from the our graduation education. Skill sets from 7 to 16, those skill sets are the skill sets which are required by industry, and which is not in any particular curriculum, all of them, right? Some of them like creativity, problem solving, or initiativeness, persistence, those kind of skill sets are taught by the design schools or management schools. Some of them are taught by engineering and management schools, but all of them are not in any curriculum, included in any curriculum to be developed by the students. So while we were working on a curriculum design for GTU design engineering course, we have considered this skill set because we have also introduced this subject in 2014. So we have also considered this uh, slide or this picture of 21st century skill sets to be developed by design engineering subject, the students who are uh, uh, you know learning this design engineering subject, they can, if they follow and they measure their learning over the years, they can see that they are developing this kind of skill sets using design thinking. So we will see now how design thinking can help us to develop these skill sets from 7 to 16 in a couple of slides ahead. Before that, let me uh, tell you that we are here, working in a engineering schools or management schools on our academic project, and we try to get the innovation through our project, and we always hope for the best, and we always hope for the disruptive innovation, like out of the box, or like something invention. So there is a difference between invention and innovation, right? So invention is something new, but innovation is not always something new. Right now, as for this corona situation, if we want to develop some innovative solution, it could be some small incremental innovation in existing product, like mask, or like for sanitization ways, or the that ventilator. So there could be some minor incremental innovation also possible, which can be included in our academic project. So but that innovation needs to be impactful. If we talk about entrepreneurship, or if we consider the startups, then startup need to create the ideas in a creative way, and then create the innovation, and that innovation needs to be applied into the real solution, and needs to be launched for the market, so that people and community can impact through that innovation, and then they can earn the good revenue from their business. So for entrepreneurship, creating best ideas through innovation and converting that innovation into a successful business model needs to be the aim or intention. Uh, So for that, design thinking, or we also call it a creative thinking, helps us a lot, and it is the ability to connect to what is outside the box when we are inside it. That means you need to connect the dots. You need to connect the gaps between the what people is hoping to solve their problem, and how your solution will be providing that solution in an effective way. So when we say think out of the box, people can't even see the box. And recently I have seen a message that in this era, in this digital transformation world, when we say think out of the box, it is the box that is needs to be reiterate themselves, right? Because it is this think out of the box what has been used by so many times by the uh, educators. So there are so many reasons to why we can't think out of the box, because we don't know the context, we are not trained for it, and we don't know the process and tools. Design thinking gives us the ability to know what, or to understand the needs of the people out there in their context. It gives us the process and tools through which we can think out of the box, where when we are inside the context, when we are into the people's context. So it is the thinking out of the box when we are inside the box, which is the context or the information for our project. So now we are moving towards the what is design thinking, defining the design thinking. So for design thinking, we require some of the mindset, we require some of the characteristics. So we need to be human centered, empathetic to the people. We need to understand people. We need to feel their pain. So there is a difference between sympathy and empathy, right? So sympathy is saying that I can feel your pain, but empathy is experiencing their pain, experiencing people's or users' pain by yourself, and trying to solve it through a technological solution. Collaborative, possibility driven mindset, optimistic, uh, action oriented, and experimental. So sometimes in our academic project, we always think into our lab and our classroom that we will do that, this, and we are not putting this into action. We are not doing, we are always thinking. So design thinking is not about thinking, it is about doing. So we do first, we start something, we start gathering data, and we start observing our user in their context, and based on that data, then we think what kind of best solution are fitted to their problem. And it is also experimental, it is also iterative till the part we are not reaching the final solution. So here Tim Brown has defined design thinking in a way that design thinking is a human centered approach to innovation, which integrate three things. Here these three things are very much important to understand and to integrate for any innovative project. So needs of the people, first and foremost, we need to find out the needs of the people, whether what we are developing is required or it is needed by the user or market. After development, if it is not required, if we didn't find the real need or right issues of the people and market, it will not be accepted by the people. Second is possible technologies. So how feasibly we can transform our ideas into a feasible solution through the technology. technology makes it more efficient, more effective, and user friendly for the people. And then lastly, we need to integrate also the business. For the business success, we also need to see the viable business model. So when we integrate these three things into our solution, our innovation, and when we look or keep our focus on human issues, when we keep them at the center, through design thinking we always get the experience innovation. So let us also understand through this graphical representation. If you remember or recall my first slide, or I mean second slide, why, what, and how. So first we need to find out why we are developing any solution, why we are doing any project. So are there any desirability into the user or market for our product or solution? Whether we can feasibly develop it through technology, and what is my viability for my business model to be successful in the competitive market. And when we give answer, when we integrate this thing with the design thinking process and tool, we will always get the experience innovation. uh, if you focus on, or if see today's advertisement on the TV channels, all advertisement of 30 to 40 second are talking about the experience innovation only. Recently, I have seen the Ashirwad Atta advertisement, and उसमें बताते हैं कि शायद आपके मम्मी ने रोटी बनाना उनके मम्मी से सीखा होगा, और ये पुश्तों का प्यार है, और समथिंग लाइक दैट. And it is like emotions are involved into making this product or the service. So when you give experience innovation, why people are using or buying 1 lakh rupee iPhone X over the 30 or 35,000 Samsung or other model? Because they are giving experience which is required by the industry, or which is required by the user. So when people hold iPhone or iPad in their hand, they say wow. And when your product or service creates wow moment, the emotional moments into the user's mind, it will go through into the market. So we also need to try to find out that uh, point where we can create this experience innovation by integrating desirability, feasibility, and viability through design thinking process. So here there is a small video which let me first stop this screen sharing, and I'll show you the small video. Let me share the screen again so you can see the video properly. Darshan sir, let me know if it is visible. This video is visible. Yeah. And volume is there.
It is, now it is visible.
Yeah. So I think it is okay. Let me. I think due to this internet connectivity, let me skip the video. I'll again share the presentation. So the video is about to. Okay. Now the screen is visible, sir.
Yes, sir.
Presentation.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
so the video was about to show you how everyone's need is different, and when you are trying to give one solution or trying to fit one solution for everyone, it would not acceptable by the market. So I will share this video after the presentation also, so you can see for yourself. Now moving on, design thinking phases. Let me introduce design thinking process phase wise, and we will then see how this phase wise, I mean how 21st century skill sets can be developed through each of the phase. So this is the design thinking process that we have developed at GTU design engineering subject, and it starts from the observation, then empathy, ideation, product development, prototype, and test. And these are 6 steps that we are following for our design thinking project. And if you see the arrows, these are bi-directional arrow. That means the process is iterative, which means at the product development or ideation phase, you can always go back and check what have you observed for your people, what was the empathy, and if it is over the time, if it is changed, their needs are changed, how you can quickly reiterate your solutions, so that you are not out of the market. And the entire process is a human centric approach, human centric, where your user will be at the center point. This is the problem zone where you focus only on the finding a problem or identifying the problem. And after that, when we are in the problem zone, we are not looking we are not jumping into the solution. So it is better to only focus on the problem in this phase till the empathy, and then this is the solution zone. But it is overlap, as you can see, it is overlap. So you are always jumping or juggling here and there, and that is the beauty of a design thinking process. In a shorter time, in a less time, you can come out with a iterative solutions for your user. So let us see each phase and then how it can develop the 21st century skill set. So first is the empathy phase. Empathy or empathize phase of design thinking involves observation, immersion, and engagement with your user to understand the people into the context of their lives or their environment. So we use lots of tools for this observation, for immersion. So for finding out empathy or for empathize your people, you need to observe or you need to have the observation again and again. It is not only that once you will go there, identify some of the issue, come back and do your project till the prototyping. So you need to go back again and again and identify and validate your problem, validate your users need with them, and then you will define the problem. So to create meaningful innovation, you need to know your users and care about their lives. So the 21st century skill sets, which are now developed by this empathy phase, are like communication, curiosity, adaptability, leadership, and social and cultural awareness. So when we are observing people, when we are talking to them, when we are interacting with them to question answer round, we develop the communication. So communication for 21st century is not only about how well you can interact with your people or with your client in an English or in other language, but communication is by how you express yourself, right? So prototyping is also one way of communication. Uh, Communication, curiosity, adaptability. How you adapt into your users' environment and find out the needs of people. Leadership and social and cultural awareness. So those kind of skill sets are developed by the observation empathy phase. Then we define, after finding out the need and understanding people's requirement, we define our problem, we reframing our challenge in their point of view. So we use POV, point of view scenarios, how might we questioners, to define the problem statement in a design thinking. So framing the right problem is the only way to create the right solution. If you know the right problem, then and then you can create the right solution. nowadays why we can't or the world's intellectual people are not coming out with the coronavirus vaccine. They are trying, but why? Because we don't know the root cause, we don't know how they are behaving, or we don't know the enemy itself. So if you frame the right problem, then and then you can create the right solution. And Einstein said that if I have to save the world in a 1 hour, I'll use 55 minutes to define the problem in a right way, and then 5 minutes to solve it. Right. So the problem definition. So till this part, the observation, empathy, engagement with your user, and understanding their needs plays a vital role in any innovation. So that is why the more time is given in defining the right problem. Uh, then we move to ideate. So we create lots of ideas on the problem statement, on the problems or issues, and we use lateral thinking, divergent thinking, scampers, and other tools. There are more than 300 tools in ideation, right? So for each and every project and for each and every situation, there could be different tools that to be used by the users, or I mean by the designers or innovators. So here the in ideation, here the idea is to go wide, go wild, uh, develop the crazy ideas, and initially quantity is more important than the quality, and then we converge, because the design thinking is continuously a divergent conversion process. So we converge our all ideas into the final concept. So it's not about coming up with the right idea, it's about generating the broadest range of possibilities, right? The to come out with the good idea is to generate the lots of ideas. Yeah. So after ideation or during the ideation stage, you develop critical thinking, problem solving, creativity, initiativeness, adaptability, and such on. Right. So some of the skill sets are overlapped also, and you create or you develop and you refine them during this entire design thinking process. So moving on, for prototyping, after ideation, after developing a rough solution, we will iterate it through the prototyping models. So there are a couple of prototyping tools and techniques available, like paper or rough model, mockup, dirty models, 3D printed, functional, and MVP, minimum viable product. So here, the process is to iterate the solution, getting feedback on your solution to understand your design by yourself. So sometimes after converting your ideas from your mind onto the paper, you will realize that, oh, I need to change this, or I need to change something, or this will not be working in this way. So such kind of iterative quick steps you will make to refine your prototype and define your solution. So here, build, test, iterate, again build, test, iterate cycle would be continuously going on till we finalize our idea or our solution. So uh, the vacuum cleaner that we are using nowadays in our houses or in hotels and other restaurant places, the vacuum cleaner company, the first vacuum cleaner to be launched into the market, before that company has made more than 5,000 iterations, 5,000 prototype, right? So people and the corporates are going into very deep to iterate their prototype to be launched into the market, so that they can create a bigger market and they can be a successful, right? So build to think and test to learn more about your solution. Testing. So we all know that we test our solution or our prototype through the real customer into real environment to solicit their feedback, to get their feedback and to reiterate our prototype and solution. Learn more about our user also. So sometimes after defining and ideation and prototyping stage, when you go back with your probable solution, you can learn, you can get new insights from the market, and based on that you can quickly refine your solution and then launch it into the users market. So After prototyping and testing, you can also develop the skill sets like problem solving, collaboration, initiativeness, or persistence grit. Persistence grit is most important for any innovator or startup enthusiast, because it is giving you a ability to not giving up for your idea. If you fail, you build on the failure, and you can learn from the failure and go ahead into refining your product or your service. So persistence is the most required ability by the entrepreneur to be successful into their business. Most of the time, after one or two failures, so many startups are giving up, and which is not the right. If you are selecting this as in your career, entrepreneurship as a your career, so this kind of skill sets which is more required. So if you are going to after graduation, if you are going to select the salaried career, then if you require 10 skill sets, then entrepreneur requires the 100 skill set, 100 times more skilled and talent than the salaried people. So we have seen the theoretical process of design thinking, and this is somehow linear process, step by step process that we follow, but it is not always linear. So real process, when you trace your journey during the project, it looked something like this, very random, and which is the real thing. So that is why in design thinking, the process is iterative, and you are not completely following the step by step process. Yes, step by step process is followed, but it is also the iterative in nature. So design thinking, as defined by the UK Design Council in 2005, it is this is like a two-diamond iterative process, diversion, conversion process. So we start with trigger or with the challenge. We diverse to find out more data, more understand more about our user through empathy phase, and then when we define through conversing all the data into a final right problem statement, then we again diverse in ideation phase to coming out with the more solutions or a lot of solution, and then prototype and test. So this diversion conversion is continuously going on. When we talk about the problems in design thinking, or what kind of problems needs to be solved or identified while you are in academic project or in startup, so there are three types of problem. First is known, in which problem is also known, solution is also known. Like my fan is not working, so I know that the problem is that fan is not working, but I know the solution also. Maybe that there is a power cut, maybe the capacitor is not working, or I have not turned on the light, or switch is damaged, or wire is not proper, wiring is not or damaged. So this kind of solution I know. Known unknown, second type of problem is known unknown, where we know the problem but we don't know the answer, right? And third is big unknown, where we don't know the problem because we don't know the root cause. So design thinking best suitable for such kind of complex and unknown, big unknown problems. So like, during the yes, I'll provide the PPT after the session, so don't worry about the PPT. I'll provide it. So first is like during the bad weather. I mean, due to the bad weather during flight, we need to switch off the autopilot. That is the known. We know the problem, we know the solution also, and checklist thinking. That is what we require. Here, in second type of problem, my smartphone is crashed. How can I fix it? I don't know how to fix it, but I know someone can fix it. So analytical thinking is required. Most of the engineering and science students are having analytical mindset. So these two second kind of problems are best suited for them. But here, when we use design thinking, we require design thinking mindset to solve the bigger unknown problems. Like customer ignores my product. How can I understand why? So it is required observation, immersion into their lives, engagement with them, find out what they require, understood their need, and give the solutions which is most appropriate for them. So here, to solve such kind of issues and to develop the skill sets, you require the collaboration with the other people. You require multiple skill sets and perspective, and that is why I request all the students out there and the faculty members try to work on multidisciplinary project. Multidisciplinary mechanical, civil, computer students can come together, 3 4 students, and work on any issue, like for traffic solution. So for traffic solution you require a civil engineer to understand the traffic rules and other civil aspect. You require mechanical people to work on some machineries or product to be installed, and to automate it, digitalize it, you require computer IT guy also. So when we are working on any project, I would request to form your multidisciplinary team. And it is not only multidiscipline by engineering, you can also involve medical or commerce or any other management students to make it more inclusive team and make it more innovative solution. So collaboration is the key to solve the complex problem, and we need to co-create at each and every step. So for the empathize our user, we need to understand and we need to involve our user with us for ideation. Our team and our stakeholders are required, and during prototyping and testing, user, government, and other people, other agencies are also required. So we need to collaborate. We need to co-create at each and every steps. Again, this is the third time when I am showing you the slides, which is most important: why, what, and how part of the design thinking. So at each and every steps of finding desirability, feasibility, and viability, you need to co-create, you need to collaborate with the people, with the stakeholders and your surroundings or community into the project to find out the innovative solution. So at the end, let's conclude this part webinar with saying that we don't get innovation at the gunpoint. So today we have started something new. I would request, during this lockdown, do not lock down your mind. Try to learn some new skills and new topic which will be helpful into the future. And future will be absolutely bright. Let's hope for the best. But as I said, we don't get innovation at a gunpoint. So that means we need to, you know, uh, apply this design thinking process continuously and day by day into our daily routine also. And creativity is intelligence having fun. So when we are working on design thinking project, it is always giving you a fun, because it is working with people, it is working go out there. It is not that you are working in your AC cabin and thinking from your perspective and developing a solution. It is taking the people's perspective, giving your knowledge, skills, and talent to develop the innovative solution and make it happen or make it impactful for the society. So while we are developing these things through creativity and intelligence, we will always having the fun. With that, I'll conclude this my session here, and let's join hands to contribute to the global revolution. And the revolution is already happened, but how we can join our hands with that, it would be very much important. So you can reach me to my email ID karmajit.behola@gmail.com if you have any specific question or specific requirement. This is my WhatsApp number, and you can reach on my number also. So thank you very much. And Darshan sir, if there are any questions, we can take some of the questions, a couple of questions,
Sir,
as we are dot or at the 12 p.m. But I think 5 minutes we can extend.
uh, sir,
Sir,
Yeah,
sir, please share the video if possible.
sure. I'll share the video and PPT with you, so you can mail to all of them.
Okay, okay. Sir, now my question is that so many students are lagging, so many faculties are also lagging in this particular field, that is design engineering as well as the design thinking. So, can we have one paid course so that each and every faculty, those who are willingly interested, so they can join this course and take the advantage.
So during this lockdown period, are you asking?
No, no, means after the lockdown or during the lockdown, we can schedule as a webinar, and after
Okay.
the lockdown, we can
Uh,
conduct at our institute or some other institute, or we can say zone wise, like zone 1, zone 2, zone
yes, sir.
3. So like that, I am asking that
Yeah.
if we conduct or if we organize such a paid workshop. Paid means some nominal fees like 100, 200, 100 for the students, or
Sure, sir. Sure.
so
I mean, it would be great if we can organize such a detailed program.
huh,
As we some of the faculty members and students are knowing that at GTU we are always doing a faculty development program. So we can also have right now in the lockdown period we can also have 4 to 5 days, 2 to 3 hours each day, a program where we can take this each and every step of design thinking process per day, and the students can work on their project, whatever they are doing in design engineering or academic project. They can integrate this design thinking mindset into their project and coming out with a great solution. So yes, I'm very much happy to contribute in this kind of workshop, and we are already doing some of the programs with some of the engineering and management schools, management college across India. So yes, we can of course do that thing. You can, I think, what I'll request you is if you can take some of the views from the participants who are interested, and we can
yes.
arrange that kind of things.
Sure,
Yeah,
sir. I
after
will,
this.
I will take the views of the participant regarding the
Sure.
same, and willingly interested faculties and willingly interested students. So
Yes, yes. It
we
can
can
be
have a
for both of them.
yes, we can. So we can have a good network of design thinkers as well as particularly focus on design engineering.
Okay,
Uh,
okay.
so,
Yes,
no-
we
uh,
can
so
have
now,
that.
so now, two three questions are in the chat box. So that
Yes,
we will discuss. First question is that
sure.
can we develop development of new skill set helpful in design thinking as it will enhance my knowledge of doing work at present.
Can we develop? Kindly repeat, sir.
Can we development of new skill set helpful in design thinking as it will enhance my level of doing work at present.
Yes, I mean, that's what we have discussed through design thinking. While, say, when we are using design thinking process to solve any real life issues or challenges out there in the world, when we apply this design thinking process, and as I have mentioned, the step by step process, at each and every step, you will develop some of the skill sets. So the learner or whoever is applying design thinking to solve their challenges, they develop the particular skill set at each and every step. And as I said, this 16 skill sets given by the World Economic Forum, so it is not given by me or someone, but the World Economic Forum at global level, they have said that these skill sets are required by 21st century people. I mean, for anyone, it's not about only engineering or management graduate. It is for everyone who wants to be successful in 21st century. They require such kind of skill sets. So, so as I said, from we move from 20th century to 21st century, and from knowledge era or knowledge driven economy to design driven economy. Uh, Here persons or individual knowledge is also important, but only the knowledge will not be important. As I said, in ideation, we have more than 300 tools, and through this kind of tools we come out with the innovative solution. If you have right problem and the right solution in your mind, you can hire 10 or 100 PhD guy who are more intelligent than you, right? Like this Mukesh Ambani or Bill Gates. They don't have all kind of knowledge what they are doing right now, but they know how to. They identified the real need of the user, and they know how to deliver it to the market. That is what we require, the holistic mindset into to be developed into our students and future generation. Yeah.
Next
So I think
question.
answered your question, sir.
So next question. How to encourage the students for the design thinking?
So, so to encourage the
Yes.
students for design thinking is doing, as I said, design thinking is not about thinking, but it's doing, and that is why you need to put them into the project in real world situation. It is not, see, in design thinking. That's why I kept last two slides about co-creation and collaboration. It is not about only students doing that. It is also us faculty members and college are equally, putting their efforts into doing any project. So when students are doing, when students are going in for the observation on the field, if faculty members can join those students group, it would be give them a boost in applying design thinking in a real sense. So it is about doing. You yourself can see, when I am developing design engineering subject, I have used design thinking. I have used design. I mean, I have collaborated with the people, with the faculty members, students, principal, dean, the experts, the industry. I all of them take their views and then develop at a contextual level. Also, uh, it is the iterative process. So trial and error you can do, experiment you can do, and those kind of experiment will result in a better outcome. So to encourage students for design thinking, you need to show them how design thinking works, how it will helpful to them, and that's why we are, I think you requested to organize this webinar, that how we develop the 21st century skill sets. If they are motivated to develop these skill sets for by themselves, they will they will do by themselves. So you need to show them the there are a couple of case studies are there, which is for development of solution, they use design thinking and successful models. So Apple case study is there, Google, the IBM case study is there, Airbnb case study is there, Coca-Cola and Pepsi case study is there, PNG case study. So all these case studies you can discuss with them, show them, and apply this already in design engineering subject. We have applied this step-by-step process. So you just need to follow the steps and they themselves do that. But as I said, it is also required to involve with them. It is also required to collaborate and co-create with them. It's not about guiding them, it's about facilitating them. Yeah.
Sir, next question. Uh, Various skill is required in 21st century. How we improve these skills?
Hmm. So uh, I'm again repeating it as to improving any skill or developing any skill, you need to make it practice. So if I need to be expert in taking online lectures, I need to, I cannot see video and come online and give the lecture and I'll be expert. I need to practice it. I need to every day I need to do that, and that's why day by day I can improve myself. So to improve any skill sets or to develop any skill sets, you always need to make it a practice. So practice makes it more perfection. Yeah. So again I am saying that design thinking is not about thinking, it is about doing. So you need to do before you think.
Sir, next question is,
Yes. So
if proper data sets are available, can artificial intelligence can help in design thinking?
of course. So so that's why that three part, desirability, feasibility, and business viability, uh, uh, that integration of that three part is more important. See here, when we talks about technology, it makes it more efficient, more effective, cheaper, and user friendly. So when you, but for for finding the data, you need to go out there. You cannot rely on the internet data, or you cannot rely on the 6 months old data, which was the case for management or managers before this design thinking process, right? So what they do is they study the six months data on their project or competitive project, and based on that data they will create the new solution. But here in design thinking, it gives you the ability to find out the real data, to understand your user in the real environment. And after finding out that data, if you can apply artificial intelligence, I'm not expert in artificial intelligence or machine learning, but researchers are doing these things, I mean integrating artificial intelligence, machine learning with design thinking process. So after finding users need and data from the observation and from the empathy phase, you can apply artificial intelligence to come out with the synthesized statement or synthesized result for your data. So when we are working on design research part, it sometimes take 15 days, 1 month, or more than that. And during this time, we gather lots of data. And to understand those data, you require a lot of skill sets. You require analytical and synthesis skill sets, and artificial intelligence can completely or perfectly help in this sense. So while development of your solution during ideation and prototype, if you apply artificial intelligence and make it more robust and viable business model, it would certainly help. So I think, whoever have asked this question, it is a very good question. If you can connect me with this students or faculty member, we can debate on that further, and we can come out with a better views or research part. Thank you very much for asking this question.
Sir, next question is, uh, for example, using design thinking, if we found some solution for any particular problem, now when we
Hmm.
developing or implementing the solution as building software application, then how design thinking can help to build the steps for creating actual software application.
Okay, so software development, if you remember the slides that I have shown to you, the global MNCs are using design thinking. There are software giant, Infosys, Google, IBM, Cisco, right? All of these software or web development, or those who are in a computer or IT business, they are using design thinking extensively, because during the software development, it gives you so during the prototype session, we use paper model prototype or rough quick dirty mockups. And during the software development, before design thinking prototyping process, people used to make it a beta version and launch into the market. It took 2 months to develop them, then to 1 more month to get the feedback. So 3 4 months to develop a beta version. But nowadays, in this design, through this design thinking process and prototyping, you can get it done in a very shorter span, because you are also involving your user, your client, and your market stakeholders into the process, which gives you a immediate response, immediate feedback on your software development cycle. So using design thinking, you can develop these softwares or application, mobile application, very quick, very fast, and you can change, you can iterate it as per your requirements, as per client's requirement. Uh, so I think that answers your question, sir. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I think that answers your question.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Sir,
So
so
are there any question now?
no, sir. Now there is no question. So once again, if anyone have any kind of doubt or question, please uh, share your question in the chat box. And one thing I would like to
Yes.
share that just I discussed with my SSIP coordinator, and we are giving the e-certificate to all the participants, those who have filled the feedback.
Great.
We will send this e-certificate within 1 week. So those who have filled the feedback, we are going to give the e-certificate to each and every participant. A
Great, great.
feedback link I already shared in the chat box. Once again, I am sharing.
So,
So I think, sir,
uh,
no more questions. Uh,
great.
we would like to thank.
Hello.
Yes, madam. Yes.
Hello, sir. This is Kritika. Sir, could you able to hear me?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Sir, the session was very informative and useful, sir.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank you very
Kritika.
much.
I'm Kritika calling from Chennai Indian School of Science and Management Business School, sir.
Okay.
Uh, for me, I would like to get a clarification regarding how we can apply this design thinking for management, like B schools. As a faculty,
Okay.
what is the scope of doing this design thinking course and application of design thinking in management field?
Okay. So, uh, great question, Kritika ma'am, and thank you for joining us from all the way from Chennai. And your interest is to help your students. Your interest is very good. So, ma'am, design thinking can be applied to any field, whether it is engineering, management, science, arts, commerce, or healthcare, pharmacy. It is applied to any field. We have started this design engineering subject at GTU from management, from engineering, domain. But we are planning to apply it in management and pharmacy also. I am guiding some of the B school in Bangalore, Hyderabad, and Ghaziabad. So we have already done a couple of programs and course, 2 to 3 credit course for a semester long course for management students applying design thinking. As manager, as I said, manager needs to understand the problems of their user and clients in a very holistic way. It is not about only